Welcome to Knife Chats. If you know me, you know what I think about trappers. Yet this video has a trapper in it. I wonder where it's going to go.
I know what you're thinking. Am I at Knife Chats with Tobias? That's a trapper there. Why is he showing me a trapper? Well, since the dawn of knife manufacturing in the United States, one pattern has been sought after more than all the rest: the trapper. Helping to shape this great country of ours, the trapper emerged as the knife that defined an era in early American history, and today has become the most collected knife pattern. Rough Rider proudly salutes this great pattern as well as its variations over time by bringing you the Rough Rider Trapper Collector Series. I said that without laughing. Alright, I've got another video out there that already talks about the myth of the trapper, so I'm not going to go into that again. But that was what was written on the back of the Rough Rider Trapper Series 10. And I recently picked up one of these Rough Rider Trapper Series knives, and I'm actually very impressed with it, so I thought I would show it. This is the first trapper I ever got. This was by Remington. It was actually given to me. I do not buy a lot of trappers. I'm hanging on to this one to show you the slight differences between the Rough Rider Trapper Series trapper that I have here and the standard trapper as you will usually see them come. First of all, I do like the tin, something I usually don't like. There's what I just read right off the back, the myth of the trapper, I would say. But some parts of this are very true. The trapper is definitely the most collected pattern of slip joint out there today. There's a lot of reasons for that though. So this was an early 10. I think this is from around 2010 or so. The pattern number for this one is, got it somewhere here on the box that was on there, RR1029. So this might have came out around somewhere between 2009 and 2011. And this is the knife. And it is not your standard trapper. And it looks pretty cool to me also. Let me get out of the box. I'm going to pull it over here. Okay, so here's the knife, and the first thing I want to show you is right there. The shield there is of a beaver, surrounded by like little dots and such. And that is what I really liked about the knives in the Trapper series. And I expected Rough Rider to use this shield on other knives, but they never did. This is the only place it showed up. And I missed out on the series. I never picked it up because it was just trappers. But later on, I came across this on an eBay bid. I got it for a low enough bid, and I'm happy with it. And I'm really happy with it once I got it because the bone here is some of the prettiest bone I've ever seen on any knife I've got. It's like a honey amber color with these striations going through it, like it's just straight lines going through it, but I don't know if it's like winter bottom or whatever, but it's just really cool the way the lines cut through there, and it feels good in the hand also. And they really did a great job making these knives. And as you can tell, this is not a standard trapper. I mean, just look at the bolsters to begin with. And also, if you notice, it is a little bit larger. Let me see here. Do I have a ruler? Okay, handy dandy ruler here. Now a standard trapper is usually 4 1/8 inches long, and I don't know if you can tell there, but this comes in closer to like 4 1/4, maybe 4 3/8 of an inches long. So slightly more than 4 1/4 inches long. So about 1/8 of an inch or a little more longer than your standard trapper. More interestingly though is the blade. It's a more substantial blade because of the shape of this handle, the slight serpentine upsweep of the handle. I don't think this is a true saddle horn. I think this might have been the banana boat one they had in the lineup. I don't know. I really don't know what the pattern name was that they gave this one. but the clip blade is a little more substantial than your standard trapper. As you can tell there, much wider belly going on with it, not as straight, more of a drop on the clip, so it's pretty cool looking. But more importantly, and let's face it, it does have an etch there. You can see there it's Exploring Freedom, RR. I'm not crazy about blade etches, but that one's not too bad, and if it rubs off, I don't care, because I still got the beaver shield here. What I really liked about this one when I got it was the spay blade. That just looks like a freaking awesome shape. I just love the way it looks. You know, also, if you notice, no wobble. This knife is so tight. The tolerance is so cool on it. If you look at that compared to a standard spay, notice how straight the standard one is. And this one, it's a little narrower at the beginning. I'll do some measurements, put them in here. But it's got a much wider belly at the end. And it just looks cool. It looks like it is a slightly upswept blade, but mainly it's just a belly at the end here, the way it drops down. That gives you so much more thickness in the blade. And I really don't even mind the cutout for the spay here. It actually just makes it look even more cool. It's just a really cool looking blade to me. And I usually cannot stand a spay blade. But on this one, it's like a kind of a scimitar type of shape, and it just looks really cool. And then you've got the shape of the handle itself is just really nice. The way it's got the larger bolster up here, the almost like a bullet capsule up there, the line up there, and the smaller bolster at the end here. And just the shape of it, that serpentine shape, and the fact that it is narrow here and widens out at the end. It just, you know, I just really dig the shape of this knife. You know, if they didn't call it a trapper, you know, if they had just called it a jackknife or a serpentine jack, I would have bought this in no time flat. But because they put it in the Trapper series, you know, Trapper wasn't too crazy about it. So sometimes you got to think outside the box, and I should have been thinking outside the box when this first came out. It would have saved me about $5 on buying it. And the build quality of this, solid as can be. Look at the brass liners and those nice thick back springs there. And you see the fit is not bad at all. And the shape and color of those are just beautiful. The only place on here that I feel any slight problem is the pin for the back spring here is a little bit proud on this side, but this side is flush as can be. So it's interesting that the back side is in a little bit better finish than the front side. But the front side has that beaver shield, which is pretty cool. Nickel silver bolsters, nickel silver shield, 440A stainless steel blades, stainless steel back springs, brass liners, brass spacers, and it is a full liner like you should have on any other trapper. And the blade, no wobble at all. And if you noticed here, yeah, it's got a half stop. And these knives are made probably back in 2010, 2011, and both blades, great action, great half stop, just a fantastic knife. You know, and this is coming from a person who's an anything but a trapper person. This is a trapper I can easily get behind. Really love this knife. And if I could get another one, I will get another one, simply to have one to carry and one for the collection. Any case, there you have it. My first trapper that somebody gave me that I will never part with, and then this this Rough Rider Trapper series, and this wonderful honey bone with the beaver shield. Another knife that is just way too cool to part with.
And so there you have it, and now you probably understand why I like collecting traditional pattern slip joints. Because even a person who doesn't collect trappers as a rule can find a trapper that they like. The RR1029 Dogleg Trapper by Rough Rider is obviously a trapper. I mean, you see the blades, the clip blade and the spay blade. But with it, you have that larger dogleg frame that takes it away from the standard trapper. It's no longer your typical mythical trapper. It's something different. It's something new. And yes, I still hate all the myth behind the standard trapper and the way it is overmarketed. But then if it wasn't for the standard trapper, you wouldn't have something like this dogleg trapper, which is really kind of interesting and unique, and I find it extremely appealing compared to the standard trapper. And therein lies the joy of collecting traditional pattern slip joints. Even among the patterns that you don't like, you can still find that jewel that you just seem to love. And that's my case with the Rough Rider Dogleg Trapper. I'm not a big fan of the traditional patterns, but if I can find another one of these, yeah, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Knife Chats, and if you did, please like and share it with your friends. Comments are always welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode of Knife Chats is up online. Thanks again. Hope to see you soon.